Welcome to a new episode from English Plus Podcast. Today's episode is about public figures, famous people, and what we like to call Do You Know? And today's Do You Know episode is about Albert Einstein. So without further ado, let's start listening to the story of Albert Einstein. Remember, this is listening, so if you would like to practice, we've got you covered. We have a link in the description, and that will take you to our website, EnglishPlusPodcast.com, where you can find exercises, PDF downloadables that you can use to practice your listening. If you're enjoying the information, thank you very much. We're glad you're here. But if you want to take it a step further, take the link, go to our website, and download the PDF practice worksheet and improve your English every day. Now, let's not waste any more time, and let's start with our story about Einstein. Dents in space, light in bundles, and matter that turn into energy sound like science fiction fantasies. However, Albert Einstein said they were real. Other scientists proved through observations that Einstein's theories were right. Einstein revolutionized the science of physics and helped bring in the atomic age. Albert Einstein was born in Ulm, Germany on March 14, 1879. He grew up in Germany, Italy, and Switzerland. Einstein taught himself geometry when he was 12 years old. School bored him because it required endless memorizing and reciting. He often skipped classes to study on his own or to play his violin. Yet he graduated from college in 1900 and earned a PhD degree in 1905. From 1902 to 1907, Einstein worked as a clerk in the patent office in Zurich, Switzerland. His job left him plenty of time to think. Einstein thought about the rules that govern the way the world works. For example, he explained why small particles in liquids wiggle around, a movement called Brownian motion. He said that the particles were being bumped into by tiny bits of matter called atoms that are too small to see. He also thought about light and electricity. Einstein knew that light shining on metal sometimes causes electricity to flow. He explained this result, called the photoelectric effect, by saying that light is made of tiny bundles of energy called photons. Photons hitting the metal knock particles called electrons away. Since electricity is simply moving electrons, he had solved the mystery of the photoelectric effect. In 1921, Einstein won the most famous prize in science, the Nobel Prize, for his work. Another thing Einstein thought about was time. He said that time does not always flow at the same rate. He proposed that motion affects time. He called this idea the special theory of relativity. Einstein then came up with his general theory of relativity. This theory has a new explanation for gravity. Einstein said that gravity comes from curves or dents in the fabric of space. Objects make dents in space the way a bowling ball makes a dent in a mattress. The moon falls into the dent made by Earth and rolls around the Earth. Scientists later proved that the dent a star makes in space-time bends light as the light passes by. Einstein changed physics by showing that new ideas could come just from thinking. Before Einstein, most new ideas in physics had come from experiments in the laboratory. Einstein also said that matter and energy are the same thing. He expressed this relation in a famous equation, E equals mc squared. This equation says that energy, E, equals mass, m, times the speed of light squared, c2. Energy can therefore be changed into matter and matter into energy. The ability to turn matter into energy led to the development of the atomic bomb and nuclear power. Einstein's theories made him famous, even though few people understood them. He became a university professor and director of a physics institute in Berlin, Germany. After the Nazis rose to power in Germany, Einstein left. In 1933, he came to the United States, where he lived the rest of his life. Einstein died in Princeton, New Jersey, on April 18, 1955. Einstein's last great idea was that every force in nature is part of one master force. Physicists are still working on this idea, which they call the theory of everything. So, with that being said, that was about Einstein. I hope you enjoyed the episode and you learned a thing or two about Einstein. Now, before I leave you, let me remind you that if you're here just to enjoy the episodes, you're more than welcome. And it's an honor of ours that you picked our podcast to listen to. But if you would like to improve your English, if you want to take it a step further, you can take the link I will leave in the description that will take you to our website, EnglishPlusPodcast.com, and you will find exercises. You will find a PDF practice worksheet you can download for free, and you can practice with answer keys to check your understanding. And that goes for the rest of our episodes. We create special posts for all our episodes with show notes, exercises, and other things that you can use to improve your English every day. Now, that being said, thank you very much for listening to another episode from English Plus Podcast. This is your host, Danny, and I will see you next time.